So the first thing I do is I check out similar offers. And I do this by going to the Facebook pages of people who have similar offerings. And it doesn't need to be exactly the same offering. It needs to be in that niche. So if, for example, I'm looking to create a campaign for an online course that teaches people how to use certain, let's say, video marketing, certain techniques of marketing to market their course, then what I'm looking at generally, like broken down to a deeper level, is earning money with new skills. So I'm on Dan Lok's page right now. And what you can do is go to ads and information. I know this page is in German, but it's exactly the same layout in English. So you go to ads on the left side. Some people will have ads, some people won't. And I realized you might be anywhere in the world. So you can actually click here, like on this thing, and then you can choose the country. So I'll stick to Germany right now because it doesn't really matter. And then I'll check out the ads. I'll read them. I'll see what the pages look like. I'll take screenshots of them with a tool. It's this tool. It's called Screengrab. Again, it's just a Chrome extension with which you can like screenshot entire pages. As you know, sales pages can be quite long. So I go through this and I just gather material. So what I did is I'll share with you here my document. So I've got this page where I've just assembled 4 ads, looking at the text right now. So the next step then that I take is, as you can see on the right, I made a lot of comments. I will go through the text and see, okay, what's he's saying right here, because I'm not going to copy the text. I don't have the same product. I'm just saying, okay, what's the sales psychology? What's the step that he's using here? And I'm not going to go through everything right now, but I'll take the last one. I think it was really, really strong. So what's the hook? It starts with, growing up, I was broke, dead broke. So that's the situation. And what I broke it down to here, the ad, is to the SIPN Selling model. SIPN Selling, you can Google it. It's a book on sales psychology and sales, and it talks about this SPIN, SIPN Selling process. So first, the situation is described. You want to start with something like the copywriter did here, with something that's going on in the client's mind. Keep in mind, this program from which I'm taking these ads, it's about a sales program. So it's called High Ticket Closer. And the copywriter is starting with something that might be in the reader's mind. Growing up, I was broke, dead broke. So this is the situation. Now, what's the problem behind being broke? You might think, okay, of course you don't have money, but you need to describe it. And again, this is a long text, and there's this myth out there that long copy doesn't work on Facebook because people's attention span is short, like a goldfish. However, if you read something that resonates with me, you are going to read on. So that's the situation. Then he goes into the problem. My mom and I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment in one of the worst neighborhoods in Vancouver. We would go to the near expired section of the grocery store and we would buy near expired bread to have 2 meals a day. I would sleep on a sleeping bag on the floor while my mom slept on the bed. Life sucked. So that's a problem, right? Now, SIPN Selling, SP, situation problem, I, intensification is the next step. And I'm not sure if the copywriter was aware that he was using that process, but I just discovered this pattern and I wanted to share it with you. So next, intensification. And if that's not bad enough, I dropped out of college to try to support my mom. I started and failed 13 different jobs, maxed out my mom's credit cards, spent her life savings, and put myself and my family in severe danger. I was hopeless, lost, in crippling debt, and I wanted to give up. So it's going down and down. It's getting more intense, the pain, the problem. Maybe you felt this way before. Maybe you've been stuck, lost, defeated, and had nowhere and no one to turn to. I get it. This was my life for many years. So there's this saying in copywriting or ads in general, if you can describe the problem in the voice of your customer or client in such a way that he's saying, well, I couldn't have said it better. If he has that feeling, then he will also assume that you also have the solution, because clearly you know where, the situation. That's empathy. So the intensification then takes a turn into a story, which is quite interesting. So instead of just saying, because some people do that, they say, okay, here's a problem, here's a story about it was bad, but then I discovered something and things changed for the better. What he does masterfully here, he tells a story in a very great way, and that's why I'm sharing this ad with you. So he tells a story of the leap of faith that he took, and he will be asking his client, the person who's reading the ad, to take. And I will talk about this bit of text about the belief in a second. Then I invested in a sales program that would help me become a better salesperson so I could influence others and make more sales for my then failing business. It came in a pack of CDs, and as a complimentary bonus for investing in that program, I could get a one-on-one call with the sales trainer and get help from him. Thanks for getting on the call with me, I said. My pleasure, Dan. So tell me, what kind of results are you looking to get out of the sales training program? The sales trainer said. Well, my mom and I are barely surviving. I want to give back to her for all the sacrifices she made for me. I see. If you don't mind me asking, what do you mean by barely surviving? I explained the situation of me and my mom. That sounds rough. I'm sorry. So let's suppose the sales training could get you to where you want to be in life. What would that look like? Well, I said, I want to retire my mom and buy her a new house. I want to give her the ability to travel and explore the world. And I want to make sure that she never has to go to bed hungry again. That's a good goal. And how long can you wait to give your mom that kind of life? I can't wait. I want to help her as soon as possible. Many people who go through my sales training, he said, get good results, but it takes a while for them to get good without customized feedback in real time. Would you be interested in a way to shortcut your learning curve so you can get your mom that house faster? Yes, tell me more. I knew this would be the opportunity to finally give my mom the life she deserves. Well, then it sounds like you might be a good fit for my 3-month one-on-one coaching program. How committed are you to providing a good life for you and your mom? I'm very committed. I will do whatever it takes to take care of her. Well, this is a very intense program and you're not ready to commit to practice. And if you're not ready to practicing for 3 months, then this probably isn't for you. Are you committed and ready? Yes, I'm ready. So where do you want to go from here? Well, I want to join your 3-month coaching program. How much is it? When he told me the price, the hair on the back of my neck stood up. I felt sick to my stomach and started to sweat. That's a lot of money. I can't afford that. I couldn't even wrap my head around how I could even begin to afford something like that. Then, if you're broke, and this is going to help you create a better life for yourself and your mom, isn't that exactly why you should do this? You're right. I mean, I am already severely in debt. Isn't there some other cheaper option? That depends, the sales trainer said. Are you looking for a good solution or a cheap fix? I want a good solution. So what would you like to do next? I'd like to invest in your program. That moment, I knew either I had to make it or it would be even more crippling debt. I had to make it work. I had to do whatever it takes to give my mom the life she deserves. And because I made the leap of faith and invested in the program, my life has never been the same. So stepping back now, this is a very masterful story. I mean, it's nicely written, the dialogue as well. He has some explanation in between. He says, yes, tell me more. And then he says, like in the background, what he's thinking. So intensifying and making clear why he's saying what he's saying. So it's enjoyable to read, easy to read, quick to read. And at the same time, it takes the reader of this story through the sales process that he or she will go later on when he wants to invest in the program. He might not be in the same situation with crippling debt, and his mother, he may be, he may not be, but he's got something that's telling him to, well, make more money with sales. And so he already went through the process, and he kind of it was told from Dan's perspective. So the reader is putting himself in the shoes. That, just as a side note, that's why storytelling is a great tool here as well. Also, what he's doing is he's looking to change a belief pattern. Belief pattern is like the perspective that you have on the world. If, for example, a person might be like looking for options of making money online or generally increasing their earning potential, but then again having this belief in the back of their mind, well, I only have $200 to spend on my training. I don't want to go into debt. I'm not ready to commit that much. I believe that I can do it on my own. I believe that I just need the right training. I believe, all kinds of things. So what he's doing with the story, he's taking this belief, I want to do better, but I'm not ready to commit. This is where Dan in the story was at. He did not want to invest that much, to the point, and I think the turning point in the story is where he says, do you want a good solution or a cheap fix? And this is a no-brainer question in that situation of the story. So at that point, the belief is changed to, I see that I'm in charge of my destiny, and I have to act if I want better results for me and my family and whoever is relying on you or on Dan in that story. So this story makes a really nice transition to the new situation, the new opportunity, the new world, what's going to be happening if you take action. So then he jumps to the new world after the story. So my mom now has a brand new house. I retired when I was 27, and she now lives a life of comfort and happiness instead of starvation and fear. So how do I do it? How was I able to go from severe debt to creating a life of abundance and happiness, not only for myself, but for the most important person in my life, my mom? The answer for me and my mom was being able to close deals for my copywriting and consulting services. But it became so much more than that. So this is the new world he now finds himself in. And you're now left thinking, well, the story kind of motivated me. I know I have to take action. I like where this is going, where the potential future he's showing me. So what's the next step I can take? And now I've taught thousands of students what I now call the art of high-ticket closing, where I can teach anyone, regardless of experience, how to close high-ticket offers, and from some of the biggest influencers in the world. Some of my students already end up accepting an opportunity from me. So I'd like to personally invite you to a 2-hour training I put together to show you exactly how high-ticket closing works, but I'm not stopping there. At the end of the training, I'm also going to give you an opportunity to speak with one of my graduates, so you can ask any questions you have afterwards. So the person now knows the next step. Okay, it's just a 2-hour training. It's already training. I'm getting value. It's not like I'm being sold to. Little does he know, or maybe he does know, but the reality is they're being sold to. Not that that's a bad thing, but webinars are just a great way of teaching, providing value, and at the same time persuading and selling. However, if this person, is kind of on the fence, and, in the internet, there are many opportunities, and isn't sure about it, and, maybe has been on some webinars before and has a history of not taking action, that's why the copywriter is now bringing in the offer of simply speaking to a graduate. Well, graduates are probably, salespeople as well. It's a sales training. They graduated, they can sell. They work for the person who's selling the sales training. So it's a sales conversation. But he's positioning it as very low pressure, which is important here. And at the end of the training, I'm also going to give you the opportunity to talk with some graduates. Lastly, if they feel like my 7-week mentorship is a good fit for you, they'll let you know and might extend the opportunity to you. So it's also a qualifying call. The copywriter is making clear here that you're not being pushed into buying. No, on the other hand, you have to pull, or they pull, and you push into being permitted to buy. But if it's not a good fit for you, they'll simply be honest with you and let you know what your best first direction is. So even if you don't have enough money, if you don't have enough commitment, whatever, they will still, show goodwill and will recommend you further. And at the end of the day, I know you get so much value from the training and walk away with something you can implement right away. You can register here at Masterclass. So that's it. I wanted to share this ad with you. I just went through it, broke it down a little bit, and I'm now going to continue my process of, taking the principles here and applying it to the client, the project that I'm working on. So I'm looking at what is the situation here, what's the situation in the mind of the prospective client, how is he, what kind of words is he using in conversation with himself, what's a story that might illustrate the situation that my client who created the program, maybe there's a story in his life that can be told that resonates with the reader the way this story did. And in the story, there will be the shift of the belief pattern that will still hold the person back from committing to whatever is offered in the ad. And in the end, I will tie it together, being very concrete, taking the pressure off and even inducing the reader to qualify himself. All right, so that's it. Hope you make the best of it. See you then.